difference between the chromatin and chromosome. There are two very important terminology: chromatin and chromosomes. So the dividing cell, the cell which the chromosomes are present in the dividing cell, not in the resting cell. The same structure present in the non-dividing cell. Non-dividing cell constitute the chromatin. जब सेल डिवाइड नहीं कर रहा होता है, न्यूक्लियस के अंदर जो जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता है वो कैसा होता है? वो हाईली लॉन्ग इलोंगेटेड अनक्वाइल्ड थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होता है, ठीक है, और ये न्यूक्लियस के अंदर प्रेजेंट होता है, ठीक है। और जब सेल डिवाइड करने लगता है तब वही क्रोमैटिन स्ट्रक्चर किससे बदल जाता है? क्रोमोजोम में, ठीक है। तो ये टर्म दोनों में डिफरेंस याद रखना है कि क्रोमैटिन क्या है और क्रोमोजोम क्या है। तो when the cell is at rest, when the cell is not dividing, ठीक है, the nucleus of that cell has a number of long elongated uncoiled thread like structures which constitute the chromatin, ठीक है। और when the cell start to divide, the same structure chromatin changes into chromosome. And what are chromosome? Chromosomes are short, thick, rod-shaped structure. Chromosomes are very short. The chromatin are very long, thin, uncoiled structure. But chromosomes are short, thick structure, and the chromatins are present in the resting cell, whereas the chromosomes are present in the dividing cell. So these are the differences between the chromatin and chromosome. And these two terms, chromatin and chromosomes, are not used in case of prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell like bacterial cell. Bacterial cell do not have chromatin. Rather, their genetic material consists of double-stranded circular DNA. There is complete absence of chromosome-like structure in prokaryotic cell. Because of the absence of any chromosome, the genetic material of the prokaryotic cell also is the DNA. Bacterial cell, you will get the DNA, but the DNA is circular, double-stranded DNA, but there is no formation of chromosome. The chromosomes are not present. You might have heard that nucleus is also not present in case of prokaryote. The ill-developed nucleus is present, which is known as the nucleoid in case of prokaryote. But in case of eukaryote, the chromosomes are present, and chromosomes are short, thick structure present in the dividing cell, and these chromosomes are called the carrier of the genetic material. The chromosome, it is the chromosome which has the genes. Therefore, you can say that the chromosomes are the storehouse of gene, and the chromosome has the DNA, and a particular segment of DNA is called gene. You all know that each and every function in the living cell is controlled by gene. So it is the gene which controls and regulates the each and every function in the cell. And what is gene? The particular segment of DNA is called gene. Okay? And the genes are present inside the chromosome. Therefore, you can say that chromosomes are very important structure which act as the storehouse of the genes, which act as the carrier of gene from one generation to another, to the next generation. And now question arises ki how you know that the length of DNA is much more than the length of the length of the chromosome. Is a short structure. DNA is a very long structure. So how the DNA is organized inside the chromosome? DNA के अंदर क्रोमोजोम के अंदर DNA की कैसे अरेंज होता है, कैसे पैकिंग होती है? डीएनए की लंबाई बहुत ज्यादा होती है, क्रोमोजोम बहुत ही छोटा स्ट्रक्चर है. तो DNA is a very long structure, long double helical thin structure, and very long in comparison to the length of chromosome. So then the question arises ki how these long DNA threads are DNA is organized inside the chromosome. So for the organization of the genetic material, that is the DNA inside the chromosome, some models have been proposed, and one of the very important model, which is known as the nucleosome model. Nucleosome model explains the process of the organization of the structural organization of the chromatin thread inside the organization of DNA inside the chromosome. So how the DNA is organized in the chromosome. So this is explained by a model which is called the nucleosome model, which we will be studying in detail. And in your examination, you may be asked to write write about the organization of the eukaryotic organization of DNA in the inside the eukaryotic chromosome, eukaryotic cell, or you may be asked to write to give an account of packaging of DNA inside the eukaryotic chromosome. This is very one of the very important topic of the cytogenetics, or you can say molecular biology also. So this chromosome is very important structure, as you know that it is the chromosome which is the storehouse of gene, which is the carrier, and it acts as a vehicle for the transfer of gene from the one generation to the following to the next generation. And you know that as the discovery of this chromosome was concerned, the chromosome was discovered in chromosome was discovered. Let me know from, I just would like to know from you that you have already studied chromosome in your class 11th and 12th. So just